Hey there. So Alan has been working on this, and Drew, and we got some stuff there. I just wanted to tell you though, Alan, I've been moonlighting at a helium factory.
At a helium?
Helium? Yeah, but I had to quit.
Why is that?
I was not going to be talked to in that tone of voice. So tell us what you did over here.
Well, we were on our way to putting it back together, and then Drew discovered there was another loose wheel, which we get the wheel off thinking, it's just a loose wheel. We're going to put a new wheel. Another bad axle.
So it's Drew's fault.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't go as far as say that, but
Drew, you gonna pay for it?
No.
That's a hard maybe. Drew said it's a hard maybe. These wheels are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's thousands and thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I think old axle was a little overrated.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so I got a question for you, Alan, because you are very smart. You can figure out lots of complex things, and your brain is like, I don't know, Benjamin Franklin or somebody very smart, Albert Einstein. All right, so how many legs does a dog have if you count the tail as a leg?
6.
That's incorrect.
Well, if it's a male dog, it's 6.
No, that's all right. No matter what you call it, it still only has 4 legs. See, this is something that America needs to learn, right? Just because you call something, that doesn't mean that it is. Have you ever had this experience in your life, Alan, where you see something, you're like, why are you calling it that? That's wrong. This is what Alan talked about all day long. Tell us more.
That isn't politically correct.
It's not. It's not political. We cannot tell the truth. We'll probably get shadow banned or something.
No,
Yeah.
blacklisted.
Yeah, whatever.
Attacked by wokes.
By wokes. Who you ask them like, what's a 4-sided shape called? And they're like, I don't know. Those kind of woke people?
Yeah.
Hello. And welcome to, I don't know, the end of our day today. We worked another 28 minutes. It was amazing. All the power's on. You see we got lights and fans that work, switches and outlets. It's truly amazing. And I'm very excited about this. Drew, you got anything on your heart?
Grease.
He's got grease on his heart. What about this? Imagine that you walk into a grocery store, okay? And when you do,
Sorry.
hello. So today we got outlets and switches in everywhere. You can see we got fan, light, and power, and what have you. And that makes my heart sing. I'll tell you what else makes my heart sing. Not seeing clutter. I hate clutter. You see all this stuff on the ground? It makes me go. This is too much stuff to have. I'm a minimalist, so I want a little bit of stuff. Now, in my opinion, a lot of you guys are hoarders. I'm sorry that you had to hear it like this, but it's true. You're hoarders. And here's what I'm saying. You got stuff in your house, you pay for storage, you got closets and all kinds of things. And then you know what happens? You just keep paying money to have it sit there, and you're not gonna do anything with it. You're not gonna sell it to anybody, you're not gonna use it, you're not gonna give it to your kids. Your kids don't want it. When you die, they're gonna throw it all away. It's gonna be like, ugh, dad had all this stuff, mom had all this stuff, whatever. Your trinkets and stuff, ain't nobody cares. Let me tell you, you get so much stuff in your life, this is what it's like. You walk into a grocery store, canned goods up and down these aisles, right? None of them have any labels. You're like, I don't know if this is Chef Boyardee or if this is peaches. I don't know if this is green beans or this is corn or if this is baked beans. I have no idea. You walk in, you're like, nothing's labeled. There's no organization. I can't tell which row is anything. I can't even tell, like, is this a fruit or a vegetable? Is this, I don't know. I don't know what in the world it is. Or like all of the boxes of cereal, just like no labels, just boxes. You're like, I don't know if it's a Raisin Bran or Frosted Flakes. It's very disturbing. This is the way a lot of your houses are. And it makes me feel uncomfortable. My skin starts to crawl. When I walk in, I see your house like that, I'm like, because I want order. I don't like chaos. I don't like clutter. It's not my thing. Oh, hey there. We swept the floor. Drew swept the floor and I helped a little bit like this. Hey, can I help? He's like, you don't know nothing. I'm like, that's fair. Anyway, this makes me feel happy. Now, what's our next step? Staining the floor and then polishing the floor. How exciting. This house is really coming together and this makes me happy. This reminds me, like, at this stage of the house, I'm like, you know what? The baby's about to be born. So, you know, like a human they're gonna have a baby, and they got like, you know, DNA meets other DNA, and it's like, ooh, let's mix together and make a plan, and then they make a plan that starts to grow into a baby. And then, you know, like at this stage, you're like, man, she's getting pretty fat. Not fat, full. Why would you say that, Drew? She's ready to give birth. Anyway, that's where we're at here. But it seems like, oh, there's still a lot to do. There's not. We got maybe like another week, something like that. So speaking of DNA, like your DNA code is like your house plans, right? But way better. Because my house plans are usually drawn on a napkin. Or like, I don't know, like a 10 by 10, and I do the rest of it. And I just kind of figure it out. But DNA is magical. Now, think about this. People are like, how come your hair grows fast? I'm like, I don't know. But like ½ inch a month, that's about normal, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, but how come your eyebrows aren't, 4 feet long? I'm like, because my DNA code tells it not to be. Now, some people have longer eyebrows, and, good for you. And different parts of your body, like, oh, how come this never gets to be very long? Well, I don't know. That's my DNA says, hey, don't get any longer. But what if, imagine this with me, Drew. What if scientists could get into the DNA code and be like, you know what? We're going to tweak this just a little bit and make it better. But what if they had no clue what they were doing? And it was like monkeys trying to write on a typewriter and write a novel, like the Lord of the Rings series in Chinese. And they didn't speak Chinese or English or anything and couldn't type. That's what it would look like if we were in there like, oh, we're going to fix what God did because he doesn't know what in the world he's talking about. I'm like, you might. You might not know what you're talking about. And sometimes I see people, I'm like, you know what? You thought you knew better than God, but you didn't. And that's why you look all weird. All right, we're gonna go get lunch. Oh, hey there. So, today, let's take a quick walk over here. We are staying the floor. If you look at this floor, it looks like there's a bunch of roller marks, because there are, because that's one coat. But if you look at here, less roller marks. That's good. That's 2 coats. Then we're gonna do clear coat and everything, and tomorrow's gonna be like, this is amazing. Now, a lot of you women don't understand what mansplaining is. So, let me explain it to you. It's when a man tries to explain something to a woman, mansplaining. And he has to be very condescending about it. And for those of you that don't know what condescending means, it's like when I'm looking down on you and acting like you're stupid. None of that's very nice, none at all. Okay, so Drew, I think we can both agree that if I had $1 for every time a girl found me unattractive, eventually they would find me attractive. Oh, hey there. So, I've been out here doing the floors, and Drew had to leave because I sent home because, there's nothing for him to do. Anyway, so this is the floor without the finish, and then this is the floor with the finish. I don't know if you can see the difference. There, wet, and less wet. So, pretty fantastical. This color, I don't know if you can see, is called Arctic Black. And what's confusing to me is what I know of the Arctic, which I haven't been there personally, is it's very white. So Arctic Black should be the absence of black and just all white. Unless there's something I don't know. Maybe I've been misinformed, so please chime in if you know something more than I know. This stuff is clear, and it is toxic. So I had to wait to get out of this area to a more ventilated area before I could make a video because I'm losing consciousness. I'm starting to see stars and stuff. So if you want to come by and bring me some dinner, I'm pretty hungry. All right, so what I want to talk to you guys about is the Western Wall. All right, so the Western Wall is also known as the Wailing Wall in Israel, and it's as close to the temple as they could get because it's been taken over by Muslims years ago. So people pray at the Western Wall, and they also write down their prayers, and they put that into the cracks in the rock. And from time to time, and I went there and it was cool. From time to time, all the cracks are filled with pieces of paper, and so the people in charge have to clean it up. And they asked, what do you think they do with these prayers? I'm like, I don't know, burn them? They said no. We're like, throw them away? I'm like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, you just tell me, because I'm not going to get it. And the answer is, they treat it as if it is holy. So their thought process is that if somebody has taken the time to write down their request to God, that should be seen as holy. And God doesn't forget, and neither do they. And they take it and they put it in a special place, and all the prayers are there. And it's interesting because in the Bible, it talks about the fact that the prayers of the saints, which that's all of us, are like incense in heaven. They're a sweet, pleasing aroma to God. And I think that we neglect prayer a lot. I know I personally neglect prayer more than I should. I try to live in a constant state of prayer where everything is a conversation with God and everything is like, I'm trying to pay attention to what I need to do. I think a lot of people probably don't do that, but I could be a lot better. Anyway, I just think that it's interesting that that's the way that they treat the prayers, is that this is something sacred to God and we're going to treat it as such. So I'm going to get back to work because eventually I have to have some dinner and go to sleep because tomorrow we're going to do this again. All right, love you guys. Oh, hey there. So I've got most of the stuff you can see over here is done, and all the bedrooms over there and the bathrooms. And then over here is done, and the bedroom and bathroom, and in the kitchen. But I just have this one big room left to do. And I gotta tell you, if you're nursing or pregnant, do not use this stuff. It is potent, it stinks, I'm dizzy, I'm lightheaded, I'm nauseous, I got a headache, I do not feel good, my muscles are aching. This stuff is for real. This stuff I've used before, and every time I do, I'm like, oh yeah, next time I'm gonna do it different. And then every time I forget. But if your brush dries up, you leave it overnight or something, it's like hard as a rock, like dunk, 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 dunk. You put it back in this stuff, it gets soft again. Like, that's how potent this stuff is. So I'm gonna push on through because success is getting up one more time than you've been knocked down. So here I go. If you guys think that if in the morning you're like, man, where's John at? I'm probably dead. All right. Oh, hey there. So it looks like I'm gonna live to fight another day. Sadly, my enemies will probably be disappointed. So pretty. Got this one little bit left right here, and that'll get me out. But you can't paint yourself in a corner, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I want to talk to you guys about this. Years ago, I was not very good at video. I'm still not that great, but this was probably 2004, and I got hired on, and somebody that hired me said, I would rather have somebody with a grade A personality and a grade C skill set than the other way around, because I can train you how to do this, but I can't train you how to be a good person. I'm like, well, that's nice. Fortunately, I have a grade F. I did then, I did now, like grade F personality, grade F skill set, so, congratulations on whatever I'm congratulating on. I'm really dizzy. This floor's been a beating. All right, Libby. Oh, hey there. So Bob's over here with Tropic Air and Heat, and they do amazing work. I love Bob. Some people collect all kinds of different things. Star Wars figures, I don't know, baseball cards. I collect friends and good contacts. It's called networking, but it's also called having awesome friends.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Now, what are you guys doing over here? I don't understand any of this.
Actually, we're installing the air conditioning on a new home that John is just about done with in about a month and a half. So maybe a little longer on this one. He's been busy.
I was out of town. I was out
vacationing.
of
Yeah. So, but we're in the final stages, and we're setting the outside unit. We're actually, that machine there is pulling a vacuum, and so that is getting all the air and all the contaminants out of the unit.
Vacuums suck.
They do, and this one will actually suck down. We'll probably suck it down to about 300 microns, which is very small.
What does that mean to a person that doesn't understand microns?
Microns is just a measurement of particles, and so it
how big is it, like
down.
on a tape measure?
You won't even be able to see a micron. So
what if you look real close like this? What if you squint?
If you squint, you maybe with a microscope you'll be able to see a micron.
Okay, all right, so, but like it,
but
you don't know how big it is, do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
None of us do.
It's it's a measurement, and it's very small, and so this takes all the moisture and anything out that might have been in the line sets when you ran it. Even though when we run them, we seal them during the building process. We weld it shut. But when we get it all done, we'll go ahead and vacuum it out. And
so you suck it out, and then what do you do?
And then we'll open up the line sets and make sure the charge is correct. We have a set of field piece here that will actually brand new out of the box.
Is that because somebody stole your last one?
No, it's because one of my guys broken.
What?
Yeah, broke my
You have
last
helpers
set.
that break stuff too?
I absolutely
Not anymore.
do. Not anymore. No, that helper is gone. So yeah. These babies are about $800. You know, by the time.
So
you
that was
deck
worth
them
more
out.
than your helper was.
That was.
That's fair.
You know,
It's good to know your value.
I'm not gonna, in case he ever watches this. My helper is a nice guy.
He's a
you know?
wonderful person.
Yeah.
I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
You don't tell me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we'll get this thing charged and ready, so it's at maximum efficiency, and that way we know exactly how this house will cool and everything else. So it's just part of the process, and a lot of people, a lot of companies won't even pull a vacuum. They'll just kind of open it up and
Lazy.
there you go.
Lazy people.
Absolutely.
What steals your joy, Bob?
What steals my joy? Nothing.
That's the right answer.
Absolutely.
Tuck, what steals your
Jesus
joy?
is my joy.
That's the right answer.
Nothing can steal that.
That's right.
Now, I might not be happy all the time.
Why
but
not?
Because I have people.
Oh! What steals your joy? Don't let it happen. Put Jesus in your heart.
Yeah.
So the other day, I spotted an albino Dalmatian. It was the least I could do. Because he wasn't spotted, so I spotted him. Anyway. We're about to hang cabinets. Now, people have asked, thousands of people have asked, why didn't you paint all the way down? Well, genius, we're gonna put cabinets there. And there's gonna be backsplash and tile and all kind of things. So, if we get closer, see this blue line right here? We had this put up with a laser before the house was built, and we had them, whenever we ordered the sheetrock, they had the laser put on there. That's not true. We just chalked the line. So this is where the bottom of our upper cabinets are going to go. And we put the upper cabinets on first because it's easier to screw like this than it is like this. So that's why we're doing that. We're going to do the uppers first, and then we've got it all chalked out, and we've got all, take a look over here. Here's all our uppers, and then out there we got the base cabinets. Now I know what you're thinking. John, did you fit all these cabinets in one truckload? Yep, I did. And Drew was like this. I never doubted you. And he goes, maybe for a minute. So, this is what I gotta say. If everybody else in the world takes defensive driving, you don't have to. Think about that. Oh, hey there. Come closer. So we got the blue line up. This is if you want to hang your own cabinets, which I know you're just gonna call me up anyway, but nevertheless. We put the blue line up. Then we find out where the studs are and we test it. We put a screw in there. And then we mark it. Boom, 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 boom. Because the last thing you want to be doing is holding up the thing, like trying to screw and miss and screw and miss and screw and miss. You got this ugly looking cabinet. Now it's all Swiss cheese. We just mark it ahead of time. And we're like, boom, 1, 2, done. Because we're smart like that. Mostly Drew is smart like that. Now, it's hard to tell jokes to kleptomaniacs because they take everything literally. Oh, hey there. So, we got upper cabinets in. It's really simple if you know what you're doing. Most things are. As you can tell, they're beautiful, they work. Next, lower cabinets. But before we do that, I want to tell you, I'm not like most teens. I'm 49 years old. Oh. Hey there. So, we got the lower cabinets in place, but not screwed to the wall yet. We got to do some spacers and some modification stuff, but we're going to go get some lunch because, we're hungry. But this is how simple it is. We went this morning and made a little thing on a cardboard. And we're like, okay, we need these pieces, and we got it. And then we screwed it to the walls. It's tough. These ones are cool though. So look, these are solid plywood, not just particle board, which is nice. You can tell in here. See, come close. See, this is real plywood, not particle board. Most of the time, it's like a sawdust pressed together. But these are nice cabinets. And then they got soft close. So look, see how it doesn't slam? It's got soft close, and then same thing on the drawers too, I think. So it closes soft, which is pretty nice, and then all adjustable shelves and everything too, which is pretty normal. So I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that a lot of you guys will be millionaires in your lifetime. The bad news is you will have to be millionaires to survive because inflation is through the roof. So feel encouraged or don't, your choice. Oh, hey there. So, I think I've showed you how to do blinds many times, but now I'm going to show you another thing that you can learn about blinds. Come closer. We put these things up, it's rocket surgery. You put in 2 screws, you put in 2 screws. Not that hard, there's kind of a stop place right there and then it clicks it. So, then we're going to get the blind, I'm just going to put it, wait a minute. Well, now what? The blinds are too big for the hole. Ugh, I should have ordered some custom thing. Huh. Or, watch this, this is gonna blow your mind. We're gonna measure this and cut off like, boom. Come with me. You have to have a special blind cutter. You see it? How do you do it? All right, special mini blind plastic saw blade to do this right. Otherwise, it won't work. Get over where I want you. That's not true, by the way. Really, anybody could cut it. Watch this magic. Are you ready? Let's see if it works. Uh-oh. As if by magic, it works. I know you're thinking, is that some kind of sorcery? No, it's very simple. But a lot of people wouldn't think about it. They just sit there and fight it forever and try to find some other option, which wouldn't work, and they'd be like, ugh. Now this is tough. Okay, now it's done. And then this is your balance. And that's done. Yay, we put in many blinds. Hey there. Well, it's Saturday night and we're about to go out. But, you know, we did some work, blah, blah. We got the doors back on. That's truly amazing. We got all the blinds in. Take a look. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, look, there's the whites. Now, speaking of the whites, I'd like to talk to you guys about racism, or what we call racism these days, okay? Everybody is super sensitive, and I think it's ridiculous. Here's why. First of all, we're the least racist country in the world. You think I'm lying? Go to the Olympics, okay? You go to the Olympics, here's what's gonna happen. Oh, there's the people from Africa. All the people coming out, doing all the sports, are all gonna be black. It's gonna happen. You go to the Chinese Olympics, they're gonna come out, all of them will be Chinese, all of them, it's gonna happen. Brazilian, they're all gonna look Latin American, or Latin, whatever, Latino, whatever they are. They're gonna look South American. America, freaking everything, every race in the world. And nobody's like, oh man, those people are bad or whatever. They're just like, oh, that's a good athlete. The end. Nobody cares. We all love each other. You're like, most people just want to get along and just want to get about their life. And like, I want a new iPhone and I want to watch cable or TikTok or whatever in the world. That's it. They're not hating on each other. They're not secretly trying to go and hurt anybody or whatever in the world. Like, chill. Because the things that we call racism is really prejudice. And really the things we're calling prejudice isn't even prejudice. Allow me to demonstrate. So, in your life, you need to make snap judgments on some things. Like you're driving along and you see an 18-wheeler, you probably think, that's gonna drive slower than a regular car. I need to get out of the way. There are stereotypes for a reason, okay? Like if you see a meth head or you hear, hey, that person's a meth head, you probably think, they might steal my stuff. This is not racist to say that. To say that meth head is probably gonna steal my stuff. Because they probably will steal your stuff because they're on meth, okay? I'm not saying that any race is typical for stealing things. What I'm saying is that there are stereotypes for a reason. And there are some things like when you hear a country singer that sounds like, you know, real twangy or whatever, and then somebody says, you know, it's a black country singer, you're like this. What? And when you hear a rapper that's like really legit rapping, and then it turns out to be some skinny little white kid, you're like, Eminem, is that you? It doesn't mean you're a racist. It means there's a stereotype and you like think, oh, things are normally this way. But in this case, that's not. Okay, so my entire life, well, the last 33 years of my life, I've heard, you know, you're pretty smart for a guy with long hair. You're pretty hardworking for a guy with long hair. You're pretty, whatever it is, fill in the blank, for a guy with long hair. But it always ended with, for a guy with long hair. I'm like, how about just for a guy? But I don't even care. They don't mean it in a bad way. They're thinking, normally when I meet people with long hair, they are drug addicts and losers and, you know, they don't pay their bills or whatever. And you aren't like that. I don't get upset about that. I take it as a compliment, right? And I think that if you don't want people to think about you in a certain way, don't act that way. Because then, you know, they'd be like, you know, normally people like you are, fill in the blank, but you're not, you're different. And that's not racism. That's just simply like, this is normally what I've encountered and you are different. So be different and stop hating on everybody and stop being so sensitive. Nobody wants to hurt you. Chill, live your life. Come on, why I hear this just the basic facts. Everywhere it hurts. There is no rain, your lakes receding. A distant cloud fades on the horizon. You won't survive this heat wave. Last night I fried an egg on the sidewalk. When I was a child, I caught on fire. I swelled up just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. My AC is straining, it says 110. This is not how I tend. I have become uncomfortably warm. Okay, staring to this blowtorch. There'll be some more and you might feel a little singed. Can you stand up, stand up, stand up? I do believe you're jerking. Good. That'll keep you throwing up for sure. Muscles cramping, that's heat stroke. There is no rain, your legs receding. A distant cloud fades on the horizon. You won't survive this heat wave. Last night I fried an egg on the sidewalk. When I was outside, I saw burning things. Tried to run, but I almost died. I turned on the fan, but it was gone. I cannot sweat too much longer now. The water's gone, the drink